Hello, hello, hello. I'm GT Angel again. Welcome back to another episode going through my middle-aged Sceleria playthrough of Dominions 5. Anyway, last time we ended on turn 18, and I actually have an update that I forgot to mention about that, because I forgot. So, turn 18. So at some point in the game, the Jotunheim player, Jotunheim, I think they had to go and got replaced with a sub, and then the sub player sent out messages to people, and I chatted with them. So I got some information from them. So I learned that they're somewhere in the middle of the northern continent, that Uruk is somewhere in the northwest, that Phaecia is over in the east somewhere, and that they might be spilling over the river, which makes sense. Phaecia has the ability to sail as long as they have dominion in places, so they can pretty easily hop over. And I also learned more about how bad the situation with Yes is, and that it's like we saw this fight last time, so you can see Yis lost a lot, but they still won the fight because they just brought more. And yeah, and thinking about it more with more difficulty with how hard it's going to be for anyone to stop them and how they're currently busy up here, I decided to. So I was talking with, trying to talk to Uruk and Jotunheim and Man to try to get them to help with dealing with Yes, but I also decided that I'm gonna have to fight them if I want to win this game. So I sent them this turn. I send them a nap cancel. So it's turn 18. They'll get the thing on turn 19. So 19, 20, and 21 are protected by the NAP, but then 22 is the turn I'll be able to attack them. So my plan is basically to deal with Morvark Knights. I'm going to be planning to use just Holy Communions. I don't really have research for anything else. Once I get to Enchantment 6, I'll be able to do Rigor Mortis and Grip of Winter, and those will win fights. Like, enough skeletons and those spells, as long as the enemy doesn't have, like, battlefield wipes or other ways to snipe your mages, you can just win anything. Like, they will eventually fatigue out and die. I want to reiterate, this is not a fight I want to do, it's a fight I feel like I have to do, because if I don't, Yes finishes off Marignon and then does whatever they want. Like, they could go eat Man after that. It'll be really hard for Man to defend because they're surrounded by water. And they could easily get cut off from reinforcements. They could just go up here, take advantage of the fact that they can cross these rivers and opponents can't very easily. Especially knowing that Uruk is up here is bad. So the problem with that is Uruk prefers Heat Scale +1. So chances are Uruk has a Heat 3 Dominion. Because normally that's what you do. You just get the extra bonuses and you have a much smaller penalty for it. Extra bonuses meaning pretender points. Which means that these rivers are going to be constantly unavailable. Like, at least down here during the winter, I can cross these rivers because I don't have a temperature dominion. Yeah, and it'd be nice if I could get, like, Ashdod to help with water rating, like if they could make water breathing items and stuff. But I don't want to let Ashdod know that I'm going to be vulnerable. Because, like, if they knew I was going to attack, yes, I'm worried that they would just wait a couple turns, declare war on me, and then roll over when I'm undefended. Because yes is going to be rough. So that is the stuff that happened on turn 18 that I had forgotten about last time. So let's move on to turn 19. And I know at some point I pretty consistently have my orders stuck in here. So got another Black Servant, a couple more. So Black Servants are going to be pretty huge, especially for the war, because I'm going to need to be able to know where those Morvark Knights are. And then I get some population, some gold. I get, this is bad. Like, I get 2 air gems and a bunch of bad scales. But and then I get a palisade complete. So yeah, you can see I do have my orders, so getting units over to here as much as I can. Sending out my scouts. And part of the reason I want to do this war now, also you can see this is really bad. Yes is taken over. But one reason I want to do this war now and not wait any longer is right now Yis has a bunch of their stuff up dealing with Marignon. And if I wait, they're going to be able to get it all over to me immediately. But if I do it now, they might be stuck with units up here that need time to get down here. I am worried about getting raided from up here, but basically because of this river, my 2 prongs of attack are going to be Aeol over here and Sodarth over here. Sodarth should be fort by the time the attacks come. And you can see, like, I've got a bunch of gladiators over here. Got a bunch of skeletons being made. Doing some site searching. Moving out all the gladiators. So gladiators, the one thing that is bad about them is their map move is only 12. So it's really hard to move multiple spots. Why can this only move? Oh, it's 14. Oh, it's because I'm leading from a waste. But yeah, then I've got a scout going over here. I just want to see what Ashdod's up to. So I see man has this throne. I believe, if I remember correctly, man said they do want to fight, yes, but they had to finish getting this throne and then move their stuff over. There's still an independent province over here. And we've got Agartha. So I also want to see if Agartha's moving. So yeah. Yeah, right now there aren't any Morvark Knights that I know of around here. But there are these 2 forts. But yeah. I'm continuing to go with enchantment. The plan is enchantment 6 and then conjuration 3, and then I'll get construction up. So enchantment 6 for Horde of Skeletons for 5, and Rigor Mortis Scripted Winter at 6. You also get anti-magic, which isn't too useful here, but is a thing that to keep in mind. Conjuration 3 is to get Power of the Spheres. So this is going to be very useful once I start doing like heavier communions, because the fact that it propagates in your communion makes it really powerful. You get to reduce fatigue, and especially because when you power the spheres using just thaumaturgs, all your slaves now have a higher path than your masters. It means you get significantly less fatigue, except for the one that casts power of the spheres. That one generates the normal amount. But yeah, so just moving units around. I'm leaving some behind, just to be sure. So yeah, and I'm getting... So here I'm getting more gladiators, but I'm not really getting that many more troops. Because right now all the gold is going into mages and finishing off forts. I feel like I have something happening with gold, but I don't know what. I know. But anyway, that's turn 19. Turn 20, I believe I don't have the... I believe I don't have the instructions on this one. So yes. So they got the message last turn, they sent this out, so I get this turn. So may the battle be epic. Hey, I got a bunch of air magic. So, gems right now. Oh. I don't remember what that was doing, but... So I get some death, some astral, some air. My gem income is pretty low, though. And yeah, so it's 20 right now. 21 is the last turn before attacks. I'm surprised I'm not moving these out. But yeah, this is also where the... like, I don't think I'm doing anything with it now, but this is part of where... Yes, you can see the fact that this cultist can carry 105 units. This one can carry 105. This is where the Undead Command Bless really comes in handy. If I didn't have Undead Command 4, I think these guys carry like... let me see. So I'm getting plus 80, so if I had 80 less on this guy, that's 25. So to carry these 66 units, I would need 3 of them. So I would be spending a lot of death gems on Mound Kings or other stuff if I didn't have Undead Command. Yeah, I got my Black Servant over in the capital. So I don't see any Morvark Knights or anything there yet. And over here, my scout finally finds Marignon, which is also under siege. So let's just stop for a moment. This is a pretty rough starting location for Marignon. The fact that you're at this corner means your expansion is... So it does mean that like these 2 provinces here are pretty safe from others taking them. Yis would have to go pretty far before they can get it, and they're the only real threat. But it does mean that your expansion, if it gets blocked going up this way at all, you're in really bad shape. Like if Yis knew what was happening, Yis could go take this province, and suddenly it's really hard for Marignon to do anything. Marignon would immediately be stuck with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 provinces. So just from taking 2 provinces, Yis would stick Marignon with 11. Yis could even take this one to be even safer and stick Marignon with 12. So like Marignon, as long as Yis isn't completely asleep at the expansion into the land, Marignon gets stuck with subpar expansion. And also they have a hard time getting any allies against Yis, because they have these pretty hard to get through corridors. So that's rough game for Marignon. I also see that that Yis has a fort here. But yeah, Black Servants are definitely a big help here. Knowing where Morvark Knights are is going to be pretty useful. Because one of the big threats of Morvark Knights is sending in squads that aren't prepared for them and just losing them. It can turn a lot of raiding squads into just attrition. So got units moving out. Didn't realize Scasius had all these people on his side. I should have been using him more, probably. But alas. But yeah, I've got some Grand Thaumaturgs. So I do need to keep up my research because I do need to get to enchantment 6. That is going to be the big deal. Because until I get enchantment 6, I'm largely hoping, I'm hoping to be relying on essentially Thom 1 tech. So this is turn 20, turn 21. So this is the last defensive turn. So construction fort's done. Oh, I got a mercenary squad, so I have some horsemen. Nope. And my undead and demonic troops in Honoria are being struck by fire, so unfortunate. But doesn't really do much yet. So here I go scout this out. No units there, that means there's more Arc Knights. I see that there's a fort in the Divine Ocean. Single druid over there. I think I asked Man about how many forts there are in the water and that there aren't any forts over here. Let me see if I can... Nah, I don't know. But at some point I do that. But yeah, right now I've got a bunch of units right here. So I did actually move my profit. So my plan is to go after the new coast and right over here. So here I am sending a pretty big squad, but just undead and like not very mage backed. And then here I am doing the same type of thing. And just unholy protection, unholy, yeah. I probably should be doing unholy power, not unholy protection. Because I'm not worried about banishment as much, I think. But yeah, the war with Yis begins next turn. Keeping my scouting, I don't see any units over here, so that's pretty good. I want to see what's happening over here. So yeah, the war begins. So 22. So, oh, I've been casting Twiceborn on a bunch of mages, so spending death gems. Don't find any magic sites in AO, and we got the first battles. So battle in Noria against PD, so nothing happens there. Lose some long dead because they are bad units, but the fact that I can bring 84 long dead and I don't really care. And then again, another squad against just PD. So some more long dead. And battle in the new coast, again, just PD. So the first start of the war is just province defense and getting through it pretty easily. But, bigger deal, there's a battle in Marignan. So Marignan has just a few things. But Yis is... So Yis has a bunch of militia and then the Morvark Knights, so... Yis definitely has more. It's not looking good. So the Knights of the Chalice can cut through the militia, but the Morvark Knights can slip in the back. So, not looking good. One Morvark Knight does die, which is good. And then I get Dominion -3 and Cazador. That sucks. Castle good. So I'm destroying the fort in the new coast, and it's critically damaged, which means there's probably not too much in there, so that's good. And I also got another mercenary squad. I just want all I can get. So I got a snake and militia. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 1 My plan now is just to keep pushing in. Over here, I'm going to try to take this fort. And here I have a big squad of units, so I'm going to be getting a bunch of mages in here. The plan is to set them up in a smite spam communion. So this is probably one issue with my research, is I need to get my enchantment 6 research pretty bad. If I had gone evocation, I could have gotten a lot more value from like level 3, level 4, level 5. So I could have spared more mages. So right now, without many Morvark Knights, or any Morvark Knights here, like I can see some in the capital right now, but I don't see anywhere else. But without Morvark Knights, I can pretty easily attack with just a bunch of skeletons and very minimal mage support. But I'm attacking over here as well. But very quickly, I'm going to need mage support. But yeah, I mean, I'm just pushing in. So the start of the war is very good, but that was always kind of to be expected. My experience with elves is that, which yes is kind of like, so glamour like units, they're really scary, and the two scary things that they can do, so the three scary things they can do, they can sneak into your lands, but they have to be aggressive for that. The other scary things, they can sit defensively and catch you pretty easily, because you scout and you see, oh, there's nothing here, and you go in, and then there's a bunch of elves, and you get stuck. The other thing they can do is they can move around and group up and hit you pretty bad. So you're kind of dealing with very small amounts of elves that defensively usually, or a whole squad. But it's hard to do both. And I know there's a bunch of Morvark Knights that are up here. So I'm hoping that I can kind of get it in and be aggressive, because if they have to keep cleaning up raiding, it's a lot harder for them to start setting up defensive traps, and harder for them to start really hitting me. But yeah, turn 22. So that was just in. So turn 23 now. So messenger from Fishy. So they're offering stuff. And at this point, I think I want some water breathing items so I can get my mages down there. The big thing is my skeletons are all water breathing, so having some mages with water breathing means I can carry them down. I also get some Revive King that I cast last turn, I guess, because I want Mound Kings to go into the water. So I see a Gartha, because Oracle of the Ancients takes the Throne of Life. And now we've got some combat. So I actually have one combat against me, so take a look. So I'm attacking Livenmark. So there are more Vark Knights back here. I have a bunch of skeletons. I have some Retarius in the back. I have a Thaumaturg. So let's see how this goes and see what they do. So Bless, some Moss Body, some Air Shield, and Unholy Power, Unholy Protection, just buffing my units a little bit. So, I mean, I can take out the Kurno Warriors fine. Like, takes a lot of skeletons, but I'm surrounded with skeletons. But now the Morvark Knights are coming through. And as you can see, there aren't very many skeletons left. So this is the problem I'm going to have with Yis for quite a while. Morvark Knights are very strong. So I came in with 72 skeletons and 40 or so, maybe 50, probably about 50 gladiators, not gladiators, 50 Roman units. And as you can see, the Morvark Knights and the Morgan Champions have a lot of kills. Luckily, my Mage and Cultist and Centurion got out, but I did lose all my troops. The Long Dead aren't a big... So it's not as big a deal to lose my troops, but it is rough. And I didn't kill any of the actual units. So this is going to be trouble. Over here on the new coast, I'm attacked. Another squad of Morvark Knights. Here I've got some mercs, I've got a bunch of skeletons, got gladiators in the back. So I have some mages in a communion now here. So 2 slaves, 2 masters, I believe. And I want them to do smite spam. So this is the problem with going Horde of Skeletons. There is almost no way for me to make them actually smite, because they have Horde of Skeletons. Or Raise Dead. It's going to be Horde of Skeletons soon. But this is the problem with enchantment. These units are going to use skeleton summoning. And this is a squad of Morvark Knights. Morvark Knights, as I discover, can kill an infinite number of skeletons. So one thing I could have done here is been on advance and cast so I can be closer to the Morvark Knights, because that's a consistent problem I have, is just range. But right now Raise Dead spam is not very useful against Morvark Knights. I am getting some apostasies out. And I do lose my slaves. So I killed a single Kerno Druid. I lost 130 Long Dead, a couple Thaumaturgs. So not good. But keep in mind, like, the Long Dead are free, and the Roman units aren't too important, but this is bad. But over here, I move out, there's just some province defense. So, skeletons against province defense, that's where they shine the best. Only lose 8. And then over here in Old Giant Woods, we've got Long Dead, Mercs, Romans, and it's more province defense. So far, the way the war's gone has basically been, if Yis has anything, I lose. But they haven't had things a lot. And over here I got bad Dominion change. And those units are younger, so that's fine. So, as you can see, I'm moving stuff around a lot. But this is where the battle shifts a bit. So I've gotten big gains in territory. Like, I haven't lost anything, territory-wise. So overall, this is still pretty good. But territory's not too valuable yet, and I have lost units. But I might as well still keep attacking. So over here, I'm sending my Merc squad. Over here, I'm sending a lot of units, a lot of mages on advance and cast spells, I believe. No, some on spells, some on advance. I'm trying to do smite communions. And I also have anti-magic. That deals with some of the banishment. But elsewhere, I'm trying to kind of reorganize, getting a bunch of units up to here. So I'm moving my Mound King, moving my Mage, moving some cultists back down. So I'm not going to go into too detail with all the movement, but a lot of it's going to be throughout the game. I'll be moving around a lot just because, like here for example, I have cultists, so I'm getting skeletons, and they need to get moved. But yeah, Marignon is still not dead, so that's good. So this is, I believe, the throne that Gartha took. So good for them. They get some life gems, the growth. Over here, man has their fort up. I don't really know what's happening over here, though. I wish I had more scouts over here, but especially now, I really don't want to spend time getting more scouts. That's kind of the rough thing, is I need these get mages as much as I can, mages and cultists. So I can't really know what's going over there too well. So yeah, so I'm going to do one more turn. So we'll do turn 24. So I got... Oh, so I also researched Thom 2 to pick up Mind Blast. Mind Burn. With the idea that Mind Burn is infinite range, so I can do it from the back. And we can see... I believe this is Man, got the Throne of Fire. Got more Twiceborn. Got a bunch of magic sites, so that's good. And 2 battles. So Yis still hasn't gone after me at all, which is very good for me. So here I've got a bunch of mages. The idea is to do Smite Communion spam. Got one Grand Thaumaturg with Twiceborn. And gladiators in the front, skeletons behind. And just some PD. So, pretty simple. You still lose Long Dead because they just die too easily. And here, my mercs go out. So, mercs beat PD. And then I get bad event. But he has bought the mercs I used against them, so unfortunate. And I am sieging this down successfully, so that's good. At some point... Not yet, okay. But yeah, so I have managed to take everything from Yis except their forts, but this is very reliant on the fact that they haven't attacked me with Morvark Knights yet. But over here, I am sending out my first Mound King. So Mound King, 80 undead. Going into the water. My idea is that if I can cut... So if I can cut both of these off, which is very unlikely, I can cut all the income off from here. Otherwise, if I can just go over to here, once I get this, all this income's cut off. And it should be pretty hard to reinforce over here, if there aren't any forts. Yeah, I've got a bunch of my Grand Thaumaturgs moving out. So I've got Wind Arrow there, got a couple here. Twiceborn, so they'll come back as white mages. But yeah, my plan basically is I'm consolidating on that fort and playing defensive elsewhere. There were more Vark Knights over here before, so I want to be careful about that. I don't see any more Vark Knights right here. I see some in the capital. And I move a black servant over. I want them to go over to to Marignan to see what's happening there. You see a militia up here. So I still don't know where all the Morvark Knights are. I suspect there's still sitting up here. And I want to know when they move down into the river. But this is a good start to the war, other than the losses I've had. Research-wise, back to enchantment. Just picked up thaumaturgy because Mindburn is range 100, so I can use it from the back, which has been a problem. I have a scout building a palisade down here, so I am also working on my infrastructure. I wish I could get a palisade, like a fort up over here, or even up here, but I don't want to do that while I'm fighting Yis. And yeah, I haven't really had any luck getting other people to fight Yis, unfortunately. I think I remember Man wanted to, so they're working on that. They just needed to get their Throne of Fire. So attack skill, a bunch of fire magic, and you get fire mages, or fire gems, not fire magic, but fire mages. So very nice. So yeah, this has been the push into Yis. Next time, we'll see how that continues. We'll see what happens when Yis eventually starts attacking me. So yeah, thanks for watching. This has been my first multiplayer Dominions game, remember, as MA Middle-Aged Sceleria. Thanks for watching.